Hello, everybody. My name is Allison Depew, and I'm here with Kathleen Dent. We're from Inspired Classroom, and we have Innovative Practices, which is a weekly YouTube live event with tech and teaching wizard Greg Zorbas from Inspired Classroom. Each week, you will get 3 quick tips, 2 resources, and 1 weekly challenge to enhance your teaching practice and hone your craft. Spark some new ideas and get started building cognitive sweat with your learners. Let's meet our host of Innovative Practices, Greg Zorbas.
Hi, everybody. I'm Greg Zorbas. I'm coming to you from Bend, Oregon. I spent 28 years up in Alaska teaching and coaching. I have taught in different classroom settings, social studies, and specifically some technology, specifically video conferencing technology, for about 15 years. And over that time, I came to know Allie and Kathleen and Inspired Classroom and used challenges in my different classrooms. And I learned that ultimately we could bring the world to our classroom live and interactive.
That's great, Greg, and we love having you as the host of Innovative Practices. Inspired Classroom was created by educators. Allie and I are both teachers, and builds bridges connecting learners to real-world experiences regardless of geographic isolation or opportunity. We provide authentic learning projects co-developed by our partners, free of charge, to classrooms anywhere. So, Greg, we're often asked about how you create learner engagement in a virtual space. We've been at this for about 7 or 8 years. You've been at it a lot longer. And so from your experience, do you have a few tips for us and the educators out there to really get kids learning and really interested in things that happen in the virtual space?
Yeah, one of the things when it comes to getting kids engaged is putting them in authentic real world situations, and that's what we do here at Inspired Classroom with our partners. We're putting students in a situation where I often hear from teachers, "Wow, Johnny was so excited because he wants to be a wildlife biologist," or "Johnny was so excited because he wants to be an oceanographer," and he's learning some of these tips and some of these things that are authentic in a real world situation.
I think that's great. And the standards are out there and we can all groan or moan about them or enjoy them, one of the two. But I know bringing those standards to life and finding out that real world scientists and people in the work of the world are using those kinds of processes that we're trying to teach our kids. What's another tip that you've seen that get students excited either in your own classroom or as you work with teachers?
Well, one of the things that I remember doing when I first started doing the challenges, I was teaching three different. I had 3 preps at the time, and the challenges allowed me to put the students in the driver's seat and let them actually do the work. All I did was meet you guys and took a look, spent a little bit of time, of course, checking things out. But then I spent one day. I remember one time just spending one day with the students in front of the whiteboard, going over Inspired Classroom's webpage and all the different things that are there, and then said, "Hey, we're signing up for this challenge, and we're going to do this, and you guys are going to do the work. I'm going to put you in small groups, and you're going to go through it." And it was awesome because I didn't have to spend a lot of time doing a lot of prep work because all the resources are there.
Now granted, you were teaching high school at the time, and we have teachers who are using things from all different grade levels. Have you had any experience with some of the teachers in elementary or middle school also being able to put the students in the driver's seat?
Well, absolutely. Some of the small schools that we work with actually employ the the opportunity for the older students to work with the younger students and guide some of the younger students through some of the challenges. So again, the students are in the driver's seat and doing that. Ultimately, the middle school kids are strong enough to and everything's laid out well enough that even middle school kids can pick their way through this pretty easily, and the in upper elementary certainly. And then again, if you can do some team building with, if you're in a situation where you can work with younger kids and older kids, that's great. If not, it's not that much more work for an elementary teacher to take all of the resources, and whether it's a entire group activity or small group activity or individuals, the elementary kids can handle it too.
That's really true. We even have pre-K and kindergarten students. I know, with a direction from the teacher, obviously, but learning about gut piles and eagles. It's so fun. The other thing that I know you did a lot of when you were teaching was live, interactive presentations by speakers or live events. Can you talk a little bit about how you found that live virtual events to be important?
Well, again, here we are talking about real world live situations, and at Inspired Classroom with our partners, we offer those live events where teachers can bring their kids. And like I said in the beginning, where I learned that you could bring the world to your classroom interactively, where you don't just put a video on. Sure, there's some great videos, but my students got to a point where a video wasn't good enough because they didn't get to interact with the video. Here, you get to interact with the scientist or the biologist or whoever we're meeting with, and whatever the topic is, students get to ask questions, get to follow along. We've done even with using hotspots where we're checking out mountain lion tracking and things like that live on the spot. Those events are work great for um, no matter where you're at in a challenge. It makes a great intro. It makes it great, again, keeping kids engaged because they get to see that real stuff happening. And maybe one of the events is to be a finale, as a final after you've done a challenge. So yeah, they're great opportunities.
I love those ideas, and that's super important that we support the teachers in using this and those ideas. So our three tips for this time is authentic, real, relevant materials. Don't be afraid to put the students in the driver's seat and take advantage of the live virtual events to connect to experts. So I want to go on to our two resources for this program, because this is how innovative practices will go every week. You'll get 3 tips, 2 resources, and 1 challenge. For teachers, you're familiar with 3, 2, 1. There you go. So what are our 2 resources this time, Greg?
So the first resource is just simply going to inspiredclassroom.com/curriculum, and um, you want Kathleen, can you, since your screen is spotlighted, can you click on Inspired Classroom? Can you show the teachers that tab, or that upper right hand corner of the web page?
Sure, I was not ready to do that. So while I'm getting that ready, will you?
I'll talk about the second one
Yeah,
while you're going to go
because
to.
you kind of know
So
about the second one.
absolutely, because the second one is me. You get me, teachers. So often as teachers, we're told, or we're given directions from our central office or administration that we're going to be participating in something, or we have to do this. Well, here you sign up for this, and you get support. Those other situations where we never got any support, we never got the additional resources we needed to complete something. It was just one of those things that we were told we were going to do. Well, now when you do a challenge, you sign up with Inspired Classroom, you don't pay any extra money. Yeah, you don't pay any money. And you can email me and I'll come virtually. We'll set up a time to meet, and I'll help you and give you my experiences to help you use this any way that you want to, any way that you can. There are not expectations by Inspired Classroom that you go through steps 1 through 10 of every challenge and do everything specifically like it says. The idea is that you get to do what you want, what you can fit, and how you can make it work into your classroom.
Great. There you go. So it's inspiredclassroom.com/curriculum. You can learn all about the different levels of learning experiences. You can contact Greg here, and you can explore the different challenges that are offered for each grade level band. So we have things about bees and mountain lions, a lot of science things. and some social studies also. So there you go.
But too, Kathleen, just real quick, you said a lot of science things, but there's a lot of crossover for teachers, whether it's if you're doing language arts or social studies or whatever your subject matter is. You have the ability to take what we offer and make it fit into yours. So if you're a language arts teacher, you could focus on the reading parts, or you could focus on the writing parts and make those what the outcome that you need to have.
That's right. And I know we're going to have some ideas on subsequent innovative practices on that. So our challenge, we'll have one challenge this time is to go to our website at www.inspiredclassroom.com/curriculum. Look at the resources and then go ahead and email Greg. He wants to hear from you. So thanks so much for joining us this week. Email Greg at greg@inspiredclassroom.com for help with anything we discussed today, or and to let him know how the weekly challenge went. Allie, do you have anything else?
Well, also just to please subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow Inspired Classroom on all those regular social media platforms. You can also schedule a call to discuss any of our products or programs at inspiredclassroom.com. To hear interviews with amazing mentors, follow and subscribe to our Mentor Meetup podcast on any of the podcast platforms. Thanks again, and join us next week for innovative practices to help build cognitive sweat with your learners.